Good evening all, and welcome to this planning committee on Monday, what date are we on today? Monday the 5th. Can we start with apologies for absence?
Yes, Chairman. Councillors Chris Bowden and Sinton.
Thank you. I believe everyone else is accounted for. So we'll go on to declarations of interest. Are there any from the room?
I suppose one of my relatives lives close to the hospital application, but it's not going to affect any decisions or anything.
Yeah, I'd say I was fine without no financial interest there. That brings us on to item 3 to confirm as a correct record the minutes of the last meeting. Unless anyone has any corrections, I'm happy to propose these as correct. Could I have a seconder? Thank you. All those in favour? Wonderful. This brings us next on to item 4A, the planning application schedule as attached. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to look these over. We start first with Brindley Manor Nursing Home on St. Peter's Walk, a proposed single-storey extension. Has there been anything from the portal on this one?
There's no neighbours' responses at all, Chairman, on this one. Statutory's drainage is simply noted from Woodhaven. And then WRS, they stipulate a risk assessment and a site assessment for potential for any unexpected contamination. What that is for is to accord with the Environment Agency for land contamination, because it is proximity to a former landfill, but it is stipulated as conditional.
That seems like a healthy stipulation. Would anyone like to make any further comments on this? Councillor Davis.
Only that I think one of the regulatory services refers to it classed as a hospital, whereas they're thinking of a hospital as we know it now, and it was basically the same as this ex-Brian Bells. It was massage and therapy and so on. That's all.
More of a recovery unit.
Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Brooks.
Thank you, Ken. Yeah, I've just mentioned that this extension, as I see it, is not visible from the road, and that's probably why there's no names objections. And I'm quite happy to propose that we agree with it.
Sounds good.
And I'll
Councillor Davidson.
my relative says it isn't a problem whatsoever, so I'll second it.
Wonderful. And a bit of local knowledge on there is always valuable. Could we have all those in favour? Thank you. This brings us next on to 21 Victoria Square, the Lloyds Bank branch closure works, including external debranding of signage and removal of cash point. I can't imagine there'd be anything that we really have to stop this. So has there been anything on the portal?
Just one response, Chairman. The highways, which is no objections, nothing else.
And unless anyone knows of a planning reason to stop them taking down their sign, I'm happy to propose this for approval.
Second.
Wonderful. Can we have all those in favour? Thank you. This brings us next on to Droitwich Fire Station, 51 Friar Street, change of use of part of the existing yard area for the siting of up to 3 caravans, camper vans or motorhomes to provide accommodation for operational staff in association with the fire station. Has there been anything on the planning portal for this one?
Very straightforward, Chairman. This one, no neighbours' responses. WRS had no issues with ground contamination, and the Canals and Rivers Trust replies no comment to make. So,
Would anyone else like to make a comment on this one? Councillor Brooks.
Thank you. Again, I think this one's only here on technicality. I mean, quite frankly, I don't think anyone noticed it. They just did it, and it's certainly I did feel it. So again, I'm happy to recommend that we approve it.
Sounds good. If everyone's happy with that, would anyone care to second? Thank you, Councillor Grady. All those in favour? Grand. This takes us next on to 41 Hanbury Road, demolition of existing 3-bedroomed house, replacement with 2 detached 5-bedroom houses. This is a variation of condition 2. Could we have anything from the portal on this one, please?
So the background on this one, Chairman, the Town Council, for consistency, we supported this in principle on the 13th of April 2021, and the response was just to give due attention to the neighbours' concerns. There was concerns at that time. For this variation, that there are no neighbours' responses, that's the outline of the two new dwellings that's on the portal. The only other responses really of note were WRS, no further comments apart from their condition 7, which was the similar to the first one we talked about this evening, the gas protection measures. So what they stipulated in this case was the foundations build in gas detection measures due to the proximity of landfill in the past.
So that variation isn't changing, but do we know which one they are? Which one condition 2 would be?
It's that the foundations for the new builds include the gas detection measures.
Oh, so
So
it's
it's
transferred
transferred
there.
to the variation, yeah,
Okay,
still applies.
so sounds like a standard piece of process. Unless anyone's got an objection to this, I'm quite happy to propose this for acceptance. Could we have a second? Thank you. All those in favour?
Thank you.
Grand. And that finishes off our list. And we go next on to item 4B, being amended planning applications of which none have been received. We go next on to 5A, approval notices, which Avon District Council has issued one approval notice since the last Town Council Planning Committee, and this did accord with our recommendations. And part B of refusal notices, the local planning authority has issued no refusal notices since our last meeting. This brings us next on to item 6, a VAS funding from the Safer Roads scheme.
That was just confirmation, Chairman, that we submitted the bid to the OPC Safer Roads Fund for funding towards 2 solar BAS units last week, cross-reference with resources and planning on 15th of January.
An excellent piece of work to keep our roads safer. If we're all happy with that being just for information, we will go next on to following items, following the items from 7 till 10, all being part of the Worcestershire County Council Road Traffic Regulation Act. The first being prohibition of waiting times on Honeymoon's Gardens. The second being a temporary road closure of Mayflower Road. The third being a temporary road closure of Crimson Way. And the final being a temporary road closure of Winslow Avenue. Would anyone like to discuss or make any comment on these? Councillor Brooks.
I'll just make an observation, Chairman, if I may, that this just shows how much attention we get from Worcestershire County Council for looking after our footways. And
Always
I'm very pleased
reassuring.
to see it, and I know there's quite a few more in the pipeline that we'll hear about shortly.
Always reassuring to see a consistent number of these on our planning committee agendas. So we'll take all of these as read, and we'll go next on to item 11, the consultation on Charity Street collection permit application. Worcestershire Regulatory Services administers licensing on behalf of Wychavon District Council and has received an application for a permit for 2 Charity Street collections to take place in the Droitwich Town Centre during December 24. The application falls outside the collection criteria set out in Wychavon District Council's street collection policy, meaning that permits cannot be granted automatically. In these circumstances, the licensing authority is required to consult with the relevant town council before issuing a collection permit. So,
Chairman, the exception reason on this one is because it includes Fridays, so it can't automatically be applied for permission. So that's why it's referred to the committee this evening. But it is routine and it does fit the pattern of the previous years.
so an opportunity a council using an opportunity to raise funds, we always like to see. Does anyone have any issues or comments on this?
Only that it's the Lions Club, and I believe they do the Santa Claus tour as well. Therefore, we should definitely support this.
I fully agree. That's probably what this is for.
It is.
So, I'd be quite happy to propose that we, make a comment of support for this. Councillor Brooks.
Again, I'd be very happy to second that and support what Councillor Davies has just said. Yes, the Lions do an awful lot for this town. We certainly owe them a lot, and we certainly need to support them wherever we can.
Definitely. The impact on the town of the Santa sleigh alone, I think, is huge. Wonderful. Could we have all those in favour, this one? Thank you. Thank you. And that very swiftly brings the meeting to a close. Thank you all for attending. I believe we have 2 minutes till the next one. The scout over. That one. Okay. That'll be Is that just to ensure that the structure's building secure? Oh, okay, so for insurance. Oh, right, okay.
Really going to play on the audits.
That makes sense. I was more interested in the price of them. Did you have a practice in front of the mirror? I haven't done it for a chairing meeting. I've done it for Jensen confetti. Yes. Parking the empty space.
I just hit the hammer now. Oh. Thank you for attending the resources meeting on the 5th of February. I'm standing in for Bob today, so hopefully I don't look like a rabbit in headlights, or too bad on the camera as well. First things first, any apologies for absences?
Yes, Chairman. So Councillor Mrs. Bowden, Councillor Harry Bowden, and Councillor Alex Sinton.
And secondly, is there any sort of declarations of interest? It's a bit of a short one. Nope. And so just to confirm this correct, the minutes of the meeting of the committee held on the 15th of January 2024 in the council chambers. That would be second.
Happy to propose, Chairman.
And seconder.
Second.
And all in favour? And just subject for accounts for payments as listed within the sent out pack. Are there any comments or anything on that? No, that's fine.
So there was, just for clarity, there was a replacement cheque on there, lost in the post. So that's already been authorised in the past. And there was just one supplementary, which again was an amendment to a payee, Mint Electrical Services. It was authorised in December, but we've just had to amend the payee because of his business title has changed for £324. That's cheque 12505. And again, it's already been authorised previously.
That's fine, so no problems, payments or anything, that's great.
So members are happy with those, it's just proposed second and all in favour.
Oh, okay.
Please.
If members are happy, then can I have a proposer? And a seconder? And all those in favour?
Thanks very much.
So we can close the meeting. Yeah.